Learn the skills you need to start a new career.
Danny Van Sickle is the director of the Electrical Training Alliance of Jacksonville. Welcome to First Coast Living. Good to see you.
Good morning.
All right, this is pretty cool. We were talking before we got started that my nephew is headed off to a trade program, NASCAR, mechanic school, and more kids are jumping into trade programs where they can come out and actually start making money real quick.
Right. We are an apprenticeship program for the electrical and the teledata industry. All right, so our apprentices work full-time jobs and then go to school 2 nights a week. So when you hear about apprentices, you think about, say, indentured servitude. Back in the old times, you would work for a craftsman to learn a trade.
Yeah.
They would feed, clothe, and house you. Those apprenticeships were from 2 to 8 years. When you got done, you were considered a journeyman because they wanted you out. You journeyed and learned your craft. With our school, our students work full-time during the daytime to learn the hands-on and practical skills, and they go to school 2 nights a week to learn the technical and the theory skills to really be successful.
And tuition is free, which is the most important part.
Yes. If you get selected by our apprenticeship committee, your only costs are the books and course fees, run right around $750 a year.
Wow.
That's
Yes.
a good deal. And what about requirements to get in or to get accepted if somebody's thinking about it?
Our committee interviews everyone who qualifies. So to qualify, you just submit an application, and when you do, there's some paperwork you have to submit into your high school transcripts, GED, valid driver's license. Once we verify all of that, then you'll take an aptitude test. It basically measures your reading comprehension and algebra skills. And if you get a qualifying score there, you come from the committee to interview. They give you a score based on your interview, and then when we get done interviewing everybody, we rank them, and the committee takes in the top-ranked applicants.
Well, you mentioned a couple of the categories you look at for qualifying for the test, but what are the curriculum courses that you actually teach once they're in it?
Both apprenticeships teach the same thing to begin with. They have a use of the National Electrical Code Book and alternating current and direct current concepts. But as you start to move through the apprenticeships, they start to change. The teledata apprenticeship, for instance, ends with things like fiber optics, nurse call systems. The electrical apprenticeship ends with solar cells and fire alarm systems.
And the STEM type programs are just excelling off the charts. Everyone's loving them. Ladies and men, everyone's going after them right now.
Right. We thoroughly use STEM cell projects inside our apprenticeship, science, technology, engineering, and math. And you're seeing a lot of high schools use them because they're trying to get their students ready for the workforce, so they're work ready whenever they finish.
And you guys have is it a partnership with FSCJ, or what's the agreement you have with them?
We have what you call an articulation agreement with FSCJ. And what that means is whenever you finish our apprenticeship, they will give you 30 credits toward an AS degree in industrial management technology. Whenever you finish the apprenticeship, you could take the other 30 credits to get the degree. We have some students who take those 30 credits while they're in the apprenticeship, and they'll get their degree the same night they finish the apprenticeship. We get some students who, between dual enrollment or doing college before they ever get in the apprenticeship, have those courses before they even finish the apprenticeship.
That's cool. And so, Danny, tell me, though, when you think of an electrician, you just think of that guy that's working at the top of a power line. When you're actually done with this apprenticeship and this program, you gain 30 credits. What are you actually doing?
We have affiliates that have those kind of apprenticeships that work on like power and transmission lines, but our apprenticeship concentrates more on industrial and commercial style projects. So commercial examples would be like hospitals and banks and office buildings. And industrial would be like a powerhouse or a paper mill or a manufacturing building.
So all right, so we got that as far as the tuition is free if you get accepted to the apprentice program, about $700 in books and fees. How does somebody out there right now go to sign up, or if they don't get the apprenticeship, can they still get the training?
If you'll go to etajax.org, that's our website, we have an online application, or you can come into our actual school to fill out an application, and that basically gets the process started.
And the average age of the people that go into the program, what is it?
Average age is around 22. We get them some right out of high school, and then we get some people that are even in their early 30s that maybe try a career and it's not for them, and they come to us, and when they put their mind to it, they are very successful.
And how long have you been with this company?
I've been full-time with the Training Alliance for 2 years. I actually went through the apprenticeship whenever I was young. I got in when I was 19.
Nice.
And I was an instructor for 14 years at the program before I took over full-time.
So this has been going on a while, obviously, but it's just in the last couple of years. Have you seen a massive uptick?
Definitely. Two confluences. First of all, the amount of student debt that people have had to get throughout the years, the way how the government structures things, but also people ready to work and make money. There's also a need, a very high projected need for still skilled craftspeople in the world, and the need's only going to get greater.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, because we're all getting too reliant on our cell phone. And you don't have an app to fix your electric. You need one of these guys.
Always need an electrician.
Appreciate
Always.
you training them. I want to thank the Electrical Training Alliance of Jacksonville for being here and sharing this course and this information. And for more information, visit etajax.org or call 904-737-7533.